Hey, this is Jan again. Welcome back to this video series, The Art of Rapid Language Learning. Today we're going to talk about the power of combinations. Now, in the last video we talked about learning the most important vocabulary in the beginning. The magical 2.5%, remember? Now, unfortunately, you won't become fluent in a foreign language by just learning the most important words. There's something else that you need to do to really reach a conversational level. Now, can you guess what? No, it's not learning grammar. Let me just give you an example. Okay, so many of us learn a foreign language at school. Maybe we took a language course. We learned thousands and thousands of words. But yeah, by the end, we weren't fluent in that language. You see that very often, especially like people from China or Japan or Korea. They learn English since a very young age, but yet by the time they graduate, there's still no way they can communicate in that language. So what's wrong? What's wrong with that education system? Well, here's the thing. At school, we learn a lot about the language, right? So we learn all the words, we learn all the grammar rules, but we do not really learn how to use the language. Now, there is nothing wrong with that approach, but what actually matters the most is the ability to use what you have learned. Okay, so let me repeat that. The ability to use the words and grammar that you know in real, natural, flowing conversations is a bigger factor that determines your level of fluency than the number of words and grammar that you know. Okay? So in other words, it's about learning more with less. It's better to learn a few hundred words and really learn how to use these words than learning thousands of words and grammar rules that you're not able to use. Now let's first take a look at how traditional language courses work. Or, also some platforms like Duolingo, they use these things as well. So, lesson number 1, they teach you the greetings. Then in lesson number 2, they might teach you all the items of clothing. And then lesson number 3, you learn the colors, or the names of the countries, these kind of things. The problem here is that you're learning all these words, but you're not learning to use these words. So by the end, you know 100 words, but you'll still not be able to make a sentence by yourself. Okay? So we're going to do it completely different. So I prepared a few exercises. We're going to use French as the target language. Okay, now do you know how to let's just get started. Do you know how to say I in French? So the word for I in French is je. Okay? Now the word for to want in French is vouloir. Vouloir. And if you want to say I want, you have to conjugate that verb. You say je veux. Je veux. I want. Je veux. Okay? The word for and in French is et. Et. Okay? Now, the word for you is tu. Tu. I want, in French, how was that? Je veux. Right? You want becomes tu veux. Okay? Je veux, tu veux. So you've learned 4 words and you can make 4 combinations now. So what counts is not the number of words that you know, it's the number of combinations that you can make. Okay, let's continue. The word for not is ne. You put the verb there, or you put ne pas, you put the verb in the middle. Okay, so if you want to say I want, je veux. I don't want, je ne veux pas. Je ne veux pas. Okay? Okay, example. How do you say I want and you don't want? I want, je veux, and et you don't want, tu ne veux pas. Je veux et tu ne veux pas. Okay? Yeah. You can also turn it around. You want and I don't want, tu veux et je ne veux pas. Okay, so now know 5 words, you can make 8 combinations. Let's add another verb. We're going to add the word for to work. In French is travailler. Travailler. I want to work. Je veux travailler. Right? Je veux travailler. I don't want to work. Je ne veux pas travailler. Okay, now, how do you say you want to work? I'm waiting for your response. Je veux travailler. And you don't want to work? How would you say that in French? You don't want to work? Yes, tu ne veux pas travailler. Okay, you now know 6 words and you can make 20 combinations. So every time that you learn a new word, the number of combinations almost, well, double or even more than that. Like it grows exponentially. And you know, the more useful that the words are that you're learning, the more combinations that you can make, and the more things you're able to say, the more sentences that you're going to be able to create by yourself. So, you know, in this mini demonstration, I would say we've only learned like 6 words, but you know, imagine adding more useful words like apprendre, to learn, or où, which means where, or ici, which means here, là-bas, there. You know, after adding these words, you will be easily able to make over 100 sentences. So do you see how the number of words is increasing? Do you see how the number of combinations is increasing quickly and actually exponentially every time that we add a new word? Okay, so now imagine knowing a few hundred words, or imagine knowing a few hundred relevant words. How many combinations would you be able to make? Would you be able to go to the target country, to the country where the language is spoken, and communicate with the locals there? And the answer, if yes, is yes. Again, you're not going to be fluent, but yes, you're going to be able to get by in the language, and you're going to be able to read simple text, to have these interactions, you know, and this is really going to give you that motivation. You know, once you see that progress, you're going to be motivated again, and that way you're really going to get that momentum that you need to get to the end goal of reaching fluency. Okay, do you remember the associative stage that we mentioned like a few videos back? So that's basically what we are doing here. Instead of just studying, we are really activating what we have learned. And most people forget to do that, and that's the exact same reason why they can't speak the language that they are learning. So if you're learning a foreign language, don't try to skip this step. Make combinations, practice what you have learned, because it's really the only way to activate everything that you have learned in your brain. It's the only way to make the language part of yourself. Well, that was it for this video. Thanks for watching, and in the next video we're going to talk about how to become better at memorizing new words. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.